We are meeting with Dr. Joe Pizzorno today in his living room overlooking Lake Washington in Seattle. Dr. Pizzorno is a naturopathic physician, author of the Encyclopedia of Natural Medicine, president and co-founder of Bastyr University, editor-in-chief of a journal entitled Integrative Medicine, a clinician's journal, and author of the Toxin Solution, an 8-week program to detox your life. Dr. Pizzorno and his expert team worked with Galahad Life Sciences to examine thousands of peer-reviewed articles, scrutinize more than 500 studies in detail to guide us on our journey as we developed a new mineral electrolyte that improves mitochondrial function. He is part of our quest to live long, live well. This is the second of a series of conversations with Dr. Pizzorno. In this episode, we talk about Dr. Pizzorno's insights on aging, the importance of curiosity to stay young at heart, and the two big priorities he uses to anchor his personal health regimen. We conclude with why diabetes has become an epidemic in the U.S. Please leave your comments below. Dr. Pizzorno and I will do our best to respond to your questions. We do not offer medical advice, though. We are here to clarify thinking about one of humanity's greatest challenges, aging. Joe, thank you very much for inviting us to your home. It's a beautiful place, and it's wonderful overlooking Lake Washington. I know you've been here for a long time. We visited from time to time. I think during the pandemic, even during a sunny day, we were on your patio. But this is more typical Seattle weather.
It is, nice and great.
So we're in your living room instead. So thank you for inviting us over to have a chance to talk. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your personal journey. And you and I have been advocates of a healthy lifestyle for quite some time. And you have incredible health now, not quite 80, but you've been huge responsibilities that you've had. Leading a major university, invited back in just July last year. And you've written books, The Toxin Solution. I think you're still editor-in-chief of a major journal. And you've written the Encyclopedia of Natural Health with a co-author and many other leaders. So I'd like to understand about what is your daily routine a little bit that keeps you so, I guess, energized, so healthy? And do you have any secrets for us?
Well, you've covered a lot of territory there. And I've often wanted to write a book, Health Secrets of a Naturopathic Doctor. Because I have a chance now, because when I started this, it made sense theoretically. But now, half a century later, I've had a chance to see now what happened. And I looked at what happened to me and what's happened to my family and friends and colleagues, those who did follow the healthy way and those who did not.
Right.
Well, those who did not, they're pretty much all dead now. Or they have major disease, or they're done with life.
Yeah.
And whereas myself and my wife, we were very healthy. I was able to step back in as the role of college university president, which is really hard.
Yeah.
And we're very active. We motorcycle all over the world, and we have a full life.
Well, yeah, Laura's an author as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she just completed her Master's of Science in Clinical Nutrition.
Oh, interesting.
And we're comparable age. I mean, not many people in their late 70s will go back to school and get a doctorate or a graduate degree.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think you've had some of the same experience I've had with people who haven't followed a healthy regimen, sort of falling off the high energy levels, the cognitive awareness levels, and aging dramatically in the latter part of their years.
So one of the challenges for people is our bodies have huge adaptive ability. So when you're 30 years old, 40 years old, you don't really notice the difference between living healthily or not healthily. You go drinking all night long, and you can do that in your college years. Well, you get in your 30s and 40s, but now you're really feeling it.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is that even though the body adapts, it pays a price.
Yes.
It pays a price. The DNA damage is starting to increase. The body load is starting to accumulate environmental toxins. And then all of a sudden, around the age of 45 to 50, all the diseases start happening then. Because the body is basically used up all adaptive ability. Now you get disease.
Yeah.
But it started decades earlier.
Yeah. Well, that was exactly what I found when I was turning 55. I was teaching at the University of Washington at an investment bank. I think about that time, a mutual friend introduced us, and I changed my life entirely. I just 180, sold everything I had, started into this field, and so there is a chance for redemption. But I'll tell you, you're absolutely right. If I hadn't turned it dramatically around then, I would be. My life expectancy when I was born was 68. I'm well beyond that now, and I can see a good long row. But part of it is curiosity, I think. I mean, you are one of the people who has been delving into many, many different roles, starting a university, writing books. Tell me, how do you keep that curiosity going? Is that just part of your DNA, or is it?
Oh, what an interesting question, and good insight. I've always been intensely curious. I actually remember. Oh, this is like 20 years ago. We were touring Theo, a chocolate factory down in Fremont.
Sure.
Yeah, really curious how's chocolate made. So, and we're going along. I'm asking questions. After a half hour, my kids looked at me and said, "Dad, stop asking so many questions. You're embarrassing us."
Sure.
I said, but don't you want to know?
Yeah,
So I'm just. I guess it's built into me. I'm very, very curious.
Yeah.
And which is fun because there's always something new in the world, and it kind of keeps that childhood enthusiasm going.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's one of the characteristics I find of people who actually embrace life energetically and end up accomplishing a lot in the process. Dr. Pizzorno and I share an openness to scientific discovery and the mindset of scientists looking for insights into complex biological issues. We recognize new discoveries require resilience and persistence. Turning to the practical side, we explore Dr. Pizzorno's 2 priorities in staying in top health: eat quality food and avoid toxins. His insights expand my knowledge and, I must admit, changed some of my approach to staying in top health. And so, what is your part of your daily routine that kind of keeps that energy good?
So we really do try to practice what we preach, and that it has so many aspects to it. So while you'll say, "What's my daily routine?" Let me back up and say, "What's my big routine?"
Okay.
So my big routine is it actually comes down to 2 very simple purposes or things. Number 1, avoid environmental toxins as much as possible,
Yeah.
and only eat food that is real food, that's organically grown, high in nutrients, and low in toxins. So that's the big picture.
Yeah.
So as you may have noticed when you walked in, I have an extensive garden.
Oh, yes.
I have a greenhouse. I have fruit trees. I have blueberries. I have raspberries. I have vegetable beds. I'm really working to grow as much of our own food as we can. And a key reason for that is what I'm calling the unimportant molecules. That's facetious. So when people think about nutrition, they think about vitamins, minerals, amino acids. You may have to make sure get all those required nutrients.
Right.
And they're about 44. You add them all together, all amino acids, fatty acids, add them all together, 44 required nutrients. So then as food was hybridized and fertilized into the chemical era of growing food, as long as those 44 nutrients were maintained, food was fine. But you have to ask yourself, how many molecules are in all the foods of the world? The number is 50,000. So we decided that 99.9% of the molecules in food are not important. Okay. And so we grow foods chemically. I'm not going to say conventionally. We grow foods chemically. You lose those molecules. They drop about 90%. So while it's technically true, those 44 are required for life, the others are required for health.
Right.
So then you wonder, why does organically grown food taste better than chemically grown food? Because it has all these other molecules and our body likes it. So you eat a tomato grown chemically, eat a tomato grown organically, and then eat a tomato from our garden, you would think they're different foods. They're so much more flavorful. So when we're looking at how to live healthfully, we are looking at making sure the food supply is really as healthy as possible. As near as I can tell, 60% of a person's environmental toxin load comes from the food we are eating.
60%.
Yes.
Wow.
So you get air pollution, water pollution,
Right,
et cetera.
right.
Most of it's coming from the food supply. And it's
Yeah.
because of our modern agricultural procedures.
Well, and I read one of your articles too that you described that one of our approaches is to make sure that we've got the molecules in the food, but the isomers, that is, variations on these molecules are actually being affected by the fertilizers and the other chemicals. And so even if it's got the right molecules in it, it may not be very effective for our body, that we have to return to a much more organic, much more natural approach to our food sources. Is that a right characterization?
Excellent point. And we have to realize that a lot of the nutrition research and insights came from animal research. While that was useful, animals can sometimes have very distinctly different nutritional needs than humans do. So let's look at something like vitamin E.
Yeah.
So vitamin E is called a fertility vitamin. And it's called fertility vitamin because what they found was that when they made rats deficient in vitamin E, if they're pregnant rats, they would reabsorb their fetus. So they then looked at vitamin E and found, okay, well, vitamin E, what forms of vitamin E protect the rat as much as possible to maintain her fetuses? It turns out it's d-alpha tocopherol. So when people start doing vitamin E supplementation, they say, oh, let's do d-alpha tocopherol. Not realizing that gamma tocopherol, there's actually 8 tocopherols, so 4 tocopherols, 4 tocotrienols, but say there's 8 variants of vitamin E.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out the most important one for humans is gamma. So we give people high levels of one nutrient, oh, it's only alpha tocopherol. It decreases the absorption of the other nutrients and you induce a deficiency of the more important version.
So of the 8 isomers of vitamin E, 1 is really vital for humans. And we've tested something else on animals, saying, hey, that's the important one. And
but don't go quite all the way.
Okay.
They're all valuable.
Okay.
But it turns out the gamma is more important for humans.
I see.
So you overload on just one version of it, all the other ones are less.
Okay.
So you actually get a negative total impact. So that goes back to why whole foods are important, because they have all the variants of the nutrients as well. Now here's the theory I've been working on. We're writing an editorial on this someday. One of the advantages of being an editor of IMCJ is not only are we peer reviewed and put into PubMed, but it gives me a soapbox to talk about things. So I'm thinking about, everybody here has heard about the MTHFR polymorphism, where people get homocysteine because they can't convert folic acid into the natural folates.
Right.
And most people, I think, are aware of this, homocysteine. Well, what they don't seem to realize is that in food, the folates are already active. Folic acid is a synthetic that body has to convert. So it's only a problem with people who have the genetic polymorphism where they can't make the conversion. But if they're eating a real food that already has the natural version of folate in it, it doesn't matter.
Interesting. So actually, it seems to me that what you are saying is that some of these biological history of the species that was developed around natural foods is really being reinforced if we go for the natural foods. But that this predisposition of the body's needs are going to be subverted if we provide foods that don't even relate to what the body needs.
Yes. So people wonder, well, why do we have all these genetic variations in how we make our enzymes?
Yeah.
And realize they evolved because the food we were eating had wide diversity. So we had to have a wide diversity of enzymes in order to respond properly for the nutrients that are available in those foods.
And our bodies have been at this for hundreds of thousands of years, and we've been experimenting with our food for just the last,
100, 200 years.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't give us much time to adapt. Dr. Pizzorno and I turn our discussion to the diabetes epidemic in the U.S. His insights describe the advantages of traditional medicine and integrative medicine working together. He sets up a longer conversation in the next episode about removing toxins that are damaging our health.
No, I can't do that. And diabetes is a great example. So when I was in private practice way back in the 1970s, I was so excited when I saw my first diabetic patient because diabetes affected like 1 to maybe 1.5% of the population. It was not very common.
Really? Now it's
10 times more common.
Endemic, yeah.
What happened? Our genetics didn't change. Our diet, it's not very good. Didn't get 10 times worse. What did we do? We put metals and chemicals into the environment that poison our ability to regulate blood sugar and now all of a sudden we got this diabetes epidemic.
Ergo, your Toxin Solution that
Exactly.
you wrote about. Yeah.
Now, researchers are now calling these things diabetigens because they cause
Diabetigens.
diabetes.
Interesting.
Now, most
yeah.
people think, well, obese people are people overweight. That's the primary reason why people get diabetes, and it's true. Overweight people have dramatically more diabetes. But some great research that came actually out of South Korea, great research by the name of Ducky Lee. She produced this research. What she did, she took a bunch of obese people, measured their body load of diabetigens, and then looked at their blood sugar control, their diabetes. They found that fat people in the bottom 20% of body load of diabetigens had no increased incidence of diabetes. Whereas fat people, heavy people, overweight people, in the top 20% of body load of diabetigens, 65% already had diabetes.
Interesting study.
And it hadn't been recognized.
Interesting.
So it's not the fat that's the problem, it's what's in the fat that's the problem.
Joe and I are taking a short break. Our next episode discusses his most recent book, The Toxin Solution, an 8-week program to detox your life. Other episodes talk about Bastyr, the Integrative Medicine University he co-founded, and the future of artificial intelligence to improve health. Click below to follow the rest of the conversation.
Amo